Hey everybody, it's Nicholas and welcome back to YouVoluntear. When it came to thinking about what video to make for Advice Week, the first thing that came to mind was to make a video talking about the advice that I've received in my life and that I choose to live by, which I think could help anybody else in their lives as well. The first piece of advice, which I find really helpful in my life, is that happiness is a choice. Some of you, of course, will know that this is a piece of advice that Shay Carl says quite often, and I think that he's exactly right in saying it. And he's actually where I got the advice from first. The reason that I love this advice and choose to live by it is that it really applies to the society and culture that we live in nowadays. We live in a culture where it's almost considered the appropriate thing to do to think about the negative things that are happening, and sometimes even choose to dwell on them instead of the things that can actually lift you up. Because we live in that kind of society, it's even more important that when good things happen, you should choose to focus on them. One of the big things is, if you focus on the negatives, you start to expect negative things to happen. And if you're honestly expecting negative things to happen, or just convinced that they're going to happen badly, they probably will. That all comes back to why I think that happiness is a choice. If you choose to think happy thoughts, then chances are you're not only going to put yourself in a better mood, but you're also going to expect better things to happen. I know a lot of people feel uncomfortable with the idea that happiness is always a choice, and to be honest, it isn't always. I'll be the first to admit that there's situations where you cannot find the happiness or positivity. If you make a concerted effort to always choose the positive, you may realize that your life actually might be a happier life overall. The second piece of advice that I choose to live by is that it doesn't really matter who else loves you if you don't love yourself first. I am more than willing to admit that there are a lot of times where I really just want other people to like me. But at the end of the day, does it really matter if they like you if you don't even like yourself? I know this is getting a little bit deep, but there will come the time when all of the people that you've worked really hard to get to like you aren't around, and then who are you left with? So in those situations, if your personal self-worth is completely tied up in what other people think of you, and you don't have any confidence in yourself or love for yourself, you're going to end up in a pretty bad situation. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how many Facebook friends you have, how many subscribers you have on YouTube, how many Twitter followers you have, or even how many people reblog a post you put on Tumblr. If you appreciate yourself, and if you are proud of the stuff that you do, what else do you need? Well, there you have it, guys. I hope that you can take at least one of them to heart and choose to use them in your own life. If you do find some of the advice in this video helpful, by all means share it with a friend. Chances are if it helped you, it might help them as well. Now, I would love it if everybody who watched this video went down into the description box down below and left a comment either with their favorite piece of advice that they've been given, or with how they think these pieces of advice will help them. Remember, if you found a piece of advice helpful, chances are somebody else might find it helpful too. And with that, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.